INEC silent over PVCs discovered in NNEWI forest. Indigenous locate owners. Can you imagine? Yeah, so the news came up about 2 days ago, how hunters in NNEWI went to the bush and rather than hunting down the animals they wanted to hunt down, they succeeded in hunting down PVC cards. Okay, what so hundreds of thousands of PVC cards. Okay, so what happened was that the hunter discovered loads of PVC cards that were dumped in the forest. You understand? Meanwhile, the whole Southeast are saying that people cannot see their PVC. People cannot see their PVC. So how did all of this happen? How did this PVC go to the forest? Is it that gunmen that are actually burning INEC offices took these PVCs into the bush and threw it away? Or is it that opposition parties that have affiliation with INEC took this thing and dropped in the bush? Is it that INEC is not aware that this set of PVCs have been missing and not reported? This country, I don't understand how we do things. There's somebody that did this thing has a kind of interest in the election and probably has been paid by somebody to do it, to make sure that people in that area, and I'm sure that area must be either ABGA or Labour Party area, which probably wouldn't want them to see those PVC to reduce the number of voters that will be available in that area. The same way that some time ago they saw loads of PVC cards in gutter in Lagos. And for that of Lagos, people suspected that the PVC cards meant for the Igbos because they didn't want the Igbos. Up to now, Igbos are still not very free to get their PVCs in Lagos because they know that if Igbos come out to vote, APC will be a threat. That is the truth. Will be threatened. Okay? So I don't know why we are like this in this country. With the government set up a system in place, we still find a way to thwart that system to get what we want. So how can somebody just pick packet of PVC like this and then throw it into the bush? And now the hunters have gone to the bush, they have discovered these PVCs, brought them out. Up till now, INEC has not made any statement about it. And thank God the hunter that brought out this PVC saw that the PVC belonged to the people in their area, and they started identifying the owners of those PVCs. Can you imagine? So what is going to happen now? Are they going to distribute the PVCs to the owners, or are they going to take the PVC to INEC office? Now that INEC is quiet about it and not saying anything about it. Now, wow, this will get us a bill. Let's see what they have to say more. The Anambra State Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has kept mum on the discovery of a bag containing thousands of PVCs in the forest in NNEWI. The PVCs were discovered by a hunter on Tuesday who took them to a popular radio station in NNEWI Authority FM. Can you imagine? That's a very good one. A staff of the radio station, Mr. Ikenna, who received the PVCs from the hunter, told Daily Post that they were later moved to the palace of Umudim traditional ruler. That's very fine. But a video circulating online has shown that the community has commenced sorting of the PVCs and also locating the owners who are members of the community. The video showed the sorting of the thousands of PVCs word by word, while names of their owners are being called for indigenes to collect them for Saturday's election. Daily Post had earlier called the INEC spokesperson in Anambra State, Dr. Kingsley Ago, for comment on the discovered PVCs, but he failed to respond. So meaning that they know about it. That is the truth. It means that they know about it. A public affairs analyst, Mr. Ejike Uzo, who spoke with our correspondent, berated INEC for its silence since the discovery. INEC in Anambra is not alive to their functions. PVC is the property of INEC, printed by INEC and meant to be distributed to its owners. Now these cards were printed and INEC could not get them to the owners. And eventually they found their way into a bush and someone intercepted it. And up till this moment, INEC has not been able to say how the cards left their office to the bush. That is how bad it is. It means that that office where the items were kept were not boggled. Somebody took them from there and threw them to the forest. Probably somebody that thought the only way that is the only way to disenfranchise voters, probably to favor their candidate. My fear is that this election, INEC will compromise, especially all those state resident INEC commissioners. Okay, they will compromise. And then all those INEC ground staff at each of the wards and the polling units, they will compromise. What the political guys are doing, politicians are doing, is not going to the INEC authority, because to buy those ones, they will be exposed. So they will go down to the grassroots and then look at those effective INEC staff on ground to buy them, to compromise. They might even compromise the integrity and the functionality of the BVS. That is the truth. How are we going to continue like this? How are we going to continue like this? This is very bad. Up to now, INEC cannot explain how these thousands of PVCs left their office in Anambra State into the bush. Oh, wow. If you ask me, INEC is complicit in this, yes. And their inability to talk to the public is even more embarrassing. It is now the people that are distributing INEC PVCs to its owners, while INEC officials sit and mop. This is too bad. INEC in Anambra has questions to answer. That the cards got to Anambra from Abuja before finding their way into the forest shows that INEC in Anambra has questions to answer. And that is true. INEC in Anambra has questions to answer. Okay? This thing was printed by INEC at national level, at Abuja. They were carried all the way from Abuja to Anambra State, distributed to INEC office in Anambra. But from Anambra State, the materials got into the forest. How did he leave INEC office into the forest? It's either these INEC workers don't understand and can't explain and are ashamed to come out, or they know about it and then they also can't defend it now they have been discovered. Just like this writer is saying, the INEC officers in Anambra State are complicit to this matter, and they have questions to answer. They can't continue to keep mum. Alright? Okay? How can you, something that is kept under your custody without any known form of violence? Okay? You saw it and you left your office to the bush and you can't explain it. No, it doesn't work that way. Somebody must say something. Now there are a few comments here. When you take 2 comments, somebody say this is why they kept on saying Obi is a social media president, because they have the people's PVCs hidden somewhere where God is fighting to his glory. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, so may the Lord be praised. Okay? So they know what they're doing. Remember when IPOB boys attacked a PVC collection center, killed the resident electoral officer, injured so many, and took away people's PVC? Where did you think they took them to? The video trended for months. Nobody is denying Obi anything. Blame your brothers. Can you imagine? Don't be quick to condemn INEC and its staff. What about when they were taking it for delivery? Unknown gunmen attacked them and they had to run for their lives, or their cards were hijacked from them by those you brag about election not holding in East. Okay, those who brag about election not holding in Eastern states. That's my view. Okay, did INEC make any formal complaint to the security agencies? No. So that is the thing. So if you had this kind of problem, you were attacked by unknown government, and the confidential material like PVCs were taken away from you, and you survived it, did you report it? No. So how are we sure that even those unknown government attacking them are not stage managed? Okay. So if they were attacked by unknown gunmen and the cards were left in the bush while running, they would have reported. Okay, we would have heard it for a long time. INEC deliberately did that Remember that a large number of voters' cards have been found last year where they were being dumped on expressway when someone that was jogging, saw them in Oshodi, okay, local government area in Lagos State. All Igbos that came to collect their cards were never available till today. Once you mention your name and it is Igbo, the reply is not found. Can you imagine? Just like I said earlier, it's the same thing that happened in Lagos. People are deliberately doing this thing to disenfranchise people to their own party advantage. And I'm saying it whether partly or completely, INEC is a complicit to this matter. They know what is happening. They are not reporting all these anomalies, and then at the end of the day, the people cannot find their PVCs. Very unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. So INEC will need to go and defend themselves before this community, before the traditional rulers and the local government council, for those PVC that were supposed to be under their custody to be missing and they are not reporting it. Now they have been found and they have been called. They still did not want to respond. They have questions to answer. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.